Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of sketchyGOichie. I'm your host and artist, Roger Andrews. I'm going to take you through a little journey here into The Tick. I want to discuss in this particular episode inspiration. The whole reason behind me rendering The Tick is I was at a free comic book day event, and I was invited to come be kind of the guest artist during the event in store at New England Comics in New Bedford, Massachusetts. And for those who are unaware, New England Comics, I believe, is the publisher of the original Tick way back in the day. And I can remember distinctly seeing the Tick on the shelves in a comic book shop, and I mean way back in the day. And I don't think if I've rented the Tick, maybe one or two times in life. So I was inspired from the event to render the Tick, and in between some free sketches and passing out some free prints and stickers, I started this little rendering. It's done on the iPad. It's also done in Procreate, and as you see, I kind of quickly went through a couple of poses for the Tick and decided on the one I liked, with his little sidekick kind of hanging over his shoulder, and then quickly moved on to the inking stage. As you can see, style-wise, I love a simple, clean line, not too etchy, not too rendered. However, there are times where I think a really scratchy line is kind of interesting and adds a lot of life to the line work, particularly as it pertains to the contour line. Obviously, this video is very sped up. I should mention, whenever I post these videos, these are generally time-lapse videos taken directly from Procreate. Procreate tends to record pretty much every stroke and brush stroke and line change, and it records everything. So that's how I'm able to kind of generate these videos quickly and do my little sort of DVD commentaries over them. I'm already in the color stage. This one actually was a pretty fast one. If you are curious, it probably took me start to finish maybe 2 hours. And it only took that long just because I kind of played around with the background a bit, as you'll see very shortly. And but the line art, that part is pretty fast, capturing the character, the musculature and all that, and the line weights and stuff is fairly quick for me, just because I'm pretty well practiced in accomplishing that. And then obviously, as I stated in previous videos, the color style in this is pure comic book. It's some flats and then some shading, and then I think I put a little bit of a gradient in the background, as you'll see. Which brings me to a good point. Whenever I render, and I would suggest this too for those who like to kind of render in this sort of comic booky style, I like to limit the amount of gradients on either of two planes, the foreground or background. I think less gradients in the foreground creates flatter characters, which, if you have a lot of texture and gradients in the background, will allow them to kind of be pop and to be pushed forward. Or have a flat background, very minimal, and then allow the characters in the foreground to be really detailed and rendered with shading and gradients and highlights. Just a quick little suggestion. Oh, that's me kind of, as you can see here, I'm doing a bunch of different variations on the background. That's pretty much the only time-consuming part of this. I added that sort of blue in the upper right side to kind of to allow the light source to really be from that left side. And then in the end, I love to kind of render this sort of outer outline that really kind of differentiates the foreground characters from the background. It's purely a stylistic thing. It's obviously there is some can lighting and stuff that happens in more realistic rendering, but I think it creates a nice little graphic style. So, I actually toyed with the idea of putting a logo in there. Opted not to. So, this is the finished piece. it is The Tick and Arthur. Hope you enjoyed. sketchyGOichie. Live your moment. Happy sketching, y'all. Peace.